for coming to Harlem Speaks tonight. So as part of the April programming, we've had a focus on international music and the connections to jazz. And so for this event, we have the incredible Malian blues singers Awa Sangho, and she's in conversation with Professor Cheryl Sterling, who teaches Africana Studies and Post-Colonial Theory at NYU. And so what we're going to do tonight is bring the Harlem Speaks series a little bit more into a socially and politically aware series, and we want to discuss a little bit more about how the Malian conflict is particularly devastating towards the country's musicians. And so thank you so much for coming, and I'll turn it over to Cheryl and Awa.
Well, thank you very much. You know, Awa, it's a pleasure to come here tonight and speak to you. I've been listening to your music, and I have to say, I'm just blown away by your voice, and blown away by just your tonality and the musicality. It's just an amazing range.
Thank you very much.
So I wanted to begin by asking you in particular, what drew you to music?
What drew me to music? I think they used to tell me, until now, they tell me in my family when I was a little girl, 4 or 5 years old. I grew up, I have to say, with my grandma, my father's mothers. And so I was missing my mom. I was singing all the time. And people realized that, they found that she has such a voice in this age. So they was giving me candies. They was giving me you know, as a little girl, come here, Awa. So I was singing, just like an innocent girl. And people was sometimes, I was singing and crying. They was in love with my voices, and sometimes they cry with me when I say I miss my mom. And I think I started that way when I was very, very little. And after that, of course, I think I went to a real career when I was 13, 14 years old.
How did that career start? Which band did you begin with?
I began with a band named L'Ensemble Côté Bas d'Abidjan. This is in French. L'Ensemble Côté Bas d'Abidjan. It's an ensemble who does like comedy, musical, theaters, I mean singing and dancing all together. And I think I passed my first step audition there in 1988. I was 14 years and a half, something like that.
So at 14, your family let you go play with a band?
Yes, because I was such a bad student. Can you believe, when I say bad, it's not bad and weird, but I was in love with art. I was loving singing, designing, painting, everything. So I was doing that most of the time in the class. I was the first one, number one in art, design, singing, and whatever. But I mean, I stopped school when I was 14 and went to this band. And now I think I have the other school of the life, traveling through the band, going everywhere in the world. So I learned a lot. Can you believe I never went to any English school in my country?
So you learned English on the road?
I just learned in the road here. I mean, since 2 years ago.
Wow.
Living here.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
I never learned before, because till 1 to 6th grade, you don't learn English in West Africa. You just start at 6th grade. And I stopped everything at 6th grade there.
Wow. When I was listening to your music, I was like, is she from a line of griots? Because that range in which you have, I was like, there must be some special training that you underwent, So I was really wondering about that, if your family came from that level of musicality also.
Yes, my mother is griot, because in Africa, when they say griot, the griots are the people who have all the history. They can have the history of all of Africa, but they are the history teller, the griot. And they have this, generation from generation. My mother, she's griot, she's Kouyaté. So you have the Kouyaté, the Sissoko, Kamisoko, Damba, a lot more. I'm not going to spell all of them, but she's from the griot caste, but she her father never allowed her to sing, like being a real singer, professional way. She just do it few time in the, the weddings and stuff for the families, close families, but she never been like a real singer. I think so I got it through my blood.
Ah, and the Kuyate name is a very, very famous name in this tradition.
In this tradition, sure.
Are you at all related to Danny Kuyate, who is the filmmaker?
All of them, it's the same. When you hear Kuyate,
it's everyone.
It's everyone. I mean, it's the full
so
family.
So we've got 100,000 relatives.
Yes, just talking about the DNA. So it's the family who gets, larger. Some live in Burkina Faso, some go in Mali, some in Niger or in Senegal. So it's the same family.
When you were on the road with the band to begin with, what kind of training did you undergo with them? Or was it that, you were listening to your mother and you were listening to the people in your family and you were learning from them? I'm kind of interested in what brings you to that amazing range that you have.
Just like I say, when I was 4 or 5 years old, I was so curious about singing, and I was in love with singing. That was my way to bring out my emotion, missing my mother's and thinking about her all the time because I was with my grandma. And I was just loving singing and listening to the radio, all the singers, and try to copy them and try to sing like them. And I think I trained kind of myself when I was a baby to listening to other people singing and try to, let me try to find if I can do this tone. Let me try to see if I can sing this song. Sometimes I even write the song. As I hear the song on the radio or the TV, I write it myself and sing it again. That was my first step, training myself.
And of course, it leads to what you are now.
Lead to what I am now, but I've been through a lot of, going to this band, the Koteba, I learned step on the Koteba, I learned the professional way. I never go to any music school. Like I say, in the griot cask, they don't go to music school to learn or write music. They just learn it by hearing the music. I can sing on a key now and keep this key in my mind without reading the key or writing the key. Just stay in my mind and I can sing in the key.
That's an amazing literacy.
It's just amazing, really.
I'm always impressed when I speak to musicians and I hear about just how they think about music. It's almost like you have a different sensibility. There's a way in which you bring music into yourself and the way that you kind of express it that I think no one quite understands, because I think something is going on in your brain that's a little different from other people.
You know what I think, really? As a singer and as a musician, as a mother, I'm a mother, my son is 15 years old. I think music is the most healer in this earth. It's the best medicine for me, music. When I hear a wonderful voices, and when I'm singing my own self, when I sing and I don't have, how would you call it, the goosebumps, I don't feel right. I have to have it myself so I can translate it to other people. So I think the music is something who, no matter what, you don't hear what I sing, maybe in Bambara or in Sorai, that's the part of my father's in the north of Timbuktu. But you don't have to understand what I'm really singing. I just can tell you the title.
But
maybe you
emotion.
can even cry with me, listening to my voices. Maybe it's the voices who make you cry, or maybe the sensitivity in the voices. So you don't have to understand a language to enjoy the music. For me, the music is like universal, and it's the first medicine for human being in earth. That's my point of view.
That's very, very true. You just mentioned that you're a mother, and I'm sure that your son was adopted or given to you, because you don't look like you're old enough to have a 15-year-old in any which way.
Everybody tell me that. You lie. I said, no, I'm not. What do you think? How old do you think I am? I'm not going to say my age here anyway. Yes, I do. I have a son, 15 years old, and I just bring him here from Africa now.
Wow. Does he sing also?
He was singing since he was here.
Wow,
I was
because
going
you're
to the
singing,
studio
of course,
with him. We was having a recording session, a new album coming out, so I was all this singing, and so sometimes he just, mommy. So he was in love with the music since in the belly. He's trying to be a drummer. Believe me, he loves to play drums. But I tell him, you know what? I'm a musician. You have to find your different diploma first. Go to school and learn what you have to learn, and after you choose for yourself. I'm not going to push you through anything you don't want to do.
And of course, you didn't tell him you were a bad student. I know you didn't.
I'm not going to tell him that. He's going to laugh at me. And I'm getting more, telling him to be a good student. It's all the way like that. You don't give the exam. You want your kid to be better than you. Anywhere else in the world, you want your kid to be better than you. But I'm not doing bad also. I'm going to school here right now.
Really?
I'm telling you.
What are you studying?
I'm studying the GED.
Wow.
That's
pretty amazing. Yeah.
Somebody tell me today, Bill Gates got the GED recently?
Really?
Somebody tell me that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You
True,
know what?
Somebody tell me that.
Really?
Recently.
So
for me,
so
it's never late.
So I wonder how he must have skipped someplace along the line to become like a super duper billionaire. But you never know. You absolutely never know.
Anyway.
So can you tell us a little bit more about that beginning for you, from that first group to how you came here?
Well, from the first group, Koteba, I think I have a lot to say about this first band. And Suleiman Koli, who's the founder, the director of this band, I learned a lot with him. Like I said, I'd never been to any music school, but that was, I think, between Guillemets, it was a school for me.
Yeah.
Since I was 14 years old till now. I'm not gonna say the age. Don't wait for that. But I spent 20 years in this band, learning, and after even teaching some new generation.
Wow. Wow.
Because when I arrived, he's someone who found right away the talent. Just he look at you, and he can tell, this woman have a talent on her. Let's work on that, and let's exploit this talent. So I start like that. The first day, he trusts me, and yes. But they make you to take like a test.
Yeah.
So the
What do
audition.
you mean? Oh, the audition to come into the band.
Coming to the stage in front of all the other member, and you sing, for example. And he can tell, she have a voice, she can sing. And after that, because he was like doing theater, singing, in French we say comédie musicale. So it was a band who was doing theater and singing.
Right.
So they give you like some tests and try to see if you can make it. You learn it, and you have to show what you learn. So I went through that, and I come back. I was like shame a little bit, but I did it.
Yeah.
And they thought it was great. So I stay in the band, learning, and
eventually struck
proving
out.
them I could do it because I was in love. That was the amazing thing. I was loving doing singing. So I learned how to sing better, professionally way there.
Yeah.
Because we made a band named Les Trois Go du Koteba. 3 years when I come in the band. It was in 1993.
Yeah.
The first album of Les Trois Go du Koteba. So it was 3 girls singing. Usually when you have a comedy musical, you start to sing and you have to stop the song because you have to move
performing,
on.
yeah.
It's a performing, and it's all history you have to tell to this performing. So we was kind of frustrated. Oh, why don't we sing all the song? We want to sing all the song, but after we decide, and Suleiman agree, yes, we can make a singer band. Only you 3 can sing and having a band, so you can open up all the shows we're going to have with the big bands.
Yes.
You can sing before, and we start in 1993. After that, it became a big thing, huge. We was even not expecting that.
To become so huge.
The first song was named Anye Barala. Anye Barala means we are working. Because usually in Africa, I think everywhere, in Africa and somewhere else, they think when you are a singer, dancer, or performer,
you're just enjoying.
No, means you're just enjoying, and means to you don't want to do nothing else in your life, or it's not a real job. That's the thought the parents think before it's not a real job. How you can be singing? Your friend is working in the office. She's making some thousands, and you are a singer? What are you doing singing? So we was telling to our families
that we're working.
We are working really. Singing and dancing and percussionist is a real job. And we enjoy to do that.
I think I saw a video of you, with 3 women who were percussionists.
Yes.
That was part of that group?
Yes, that's part of the group.
So and I was wondering about that because I wasn't expecting to see women percussionists, at all.
Yes. So just like I say, performing and forming ourselves in the koteba.
Yeah.
We play we percussion, we sing, we dance, choreographer, and even we teach the kid how to sing the traditional way and to show them where we come from in Africa, all our traditional instruments. So usually we do that too.
Where did the band go? Did it go all over West Africa, or did it just come this side of the world?
Everywhere in the world.
Everywhere.
The koteba was well known in Africa, means le trago de koteba in Africa. And we was coming in Canada for some bunch of festivals, Nuit d'Afrique, and a lot of festivals even here.
Yeah.
We was coming here, we played one time in the summer stage, and we was going in Atlanta, Georgia. We have a bunch of tours in Europe, in here, in Canada, everywhere in the world. Italy and Finland, everywhere.
It's always interesting to me, especially like I do a lot of stuff with African film. And you see, films from Southern Africa, but they have West African music. You may see a film that's coming from from Southern Africa, again, and then, they may have something from East Africa. So I'm also wondering about that trans-Africa experience, kind of crossing the continent and how the music is received on the continent from one space to another, how that translates.
How the music translates,
yeah,
you mean?
Yeah, from, Malian music, where you're able to go to some place, go further south, go down to South Africa or something like that.
Right.
Did you have that kind of experience?
Yes, we went to South Africa a bunch of times to have a concert there. And my own personal experience is I'm not close at all. Some musicians, they are only close to their own music. They don't want to listen to other music. They just think, oh, maybe I have the best way and my music is the best. No. For me as a musician, you keep learning from the other one. It's what I mentioned when I start in the beginning. I say, my school, I think what teach me a lot, it's to be open to the other people traveling in the world. So I learn a lot. Meeting that different culture, meeting different artists, you learn through them, you learn their culture, and you teach them your culture, where you come from. So I went to South Africa, and I love the South African music. I really do love it. I was listening a lot. Miriam Makeba, she's a huge person for me.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And singing some of her songs, and I just love the South African music. And, always listen to other music, bring you a new inspiration for yourself. And you have an open mind to capture different sound and different way to singing, even add it to your way, a personal way. So for me, it's an amazing thing to listen and travel and those different kind of things. Yes,
is there one music in particular that you could say is influenced your music more so than any other?
One musician?
One music, and we could even say one musician too.
Influence me and my music. Yes. Salif Keita, we grow up listening to Salif Keita, Mori Kante. Those are the one who we was not even born when they start. So I was listening a lot to their music, like I say, on the radio, and I was in love with the voice of Salif.
I think everyone is. It's just, it's just amazing.
You know what? Salif is my brother-in-law.
Ah.
It is. He's my brother-in-law.
Okay. Wow.
And we do a lot of things together, concert and bunch of stuff together. And I just, for me, he's the one who inspired me a lot. And the small story I'm going to tell, someone who, my album going to be released, and the woman who's going to release it in her label tell me, oh, when I listen to your voices or your music, remind me Salif, but in the feminine. I say,
Ah.
okay, thank you. Because I got really inspired by
Yeah.
him. And I just love his voices. He's amazing.
He really
He's
is.
amazing.
He really is.
Salif, Umu, but Salif, a lot of inspiration from Salif through Awa. So I just love. It's not because he's my brother-in-law, but I think he don't have nothing to say anymore. He say everything he have to say in music. So
I'm still hoping he has more to say, you
I
know,
mean,
to
he have
add to
more-
the
when
overall
I say-
repertoire. Yeah.
When I say more to say, nothing to
I
say.
know what you mean.
It's just an expression.
I know,
you
I know,
my
I
English
know.
way.
I know. It's just that his repertoire is so amazing.
He
and
gave
so,
all the
yeah.
proof already.
Yeah,
I mean, so.
yeah. You know, one of the things I want to definitely talk about your album, but maybe just a little bit later on. You know, when I'm thinking about kind of like Malian music and the strains and, you know, that come together, I can't help thinking, of course, Mali is, of course, the home of blues. You know,
Yes.
there's been so many studies that have been done about that. And I was wondering, you know, what is your music is of course, you know, of course the particular flavor of Mali, but it has those elements of blues, jazz culture. And I'm like, what kind of drew you into that kind of blues, jazz, you know, moment, you know, or scene and overall?
That's a good question.
Thank you very much.
I think I can say the blues, the influence of blues you hear in my music, the blues come to me. I don't know if I go to the blues because, like I said, my father is from Timbuktu areas, Dire. Dire is about some mile from Timbuktu. And I speak very well the language from there, the Sonrai, one of the language. And so, raised by my grandma, grew up with my grandma. She speak very well this language. All those influences, she was playing a great instrument. It's just like a violin, but it's a traditional violin.
Yeah.
And when I was in Koteba, when we start really to do Lego du Koteba, the singing band, the three girls, I talked to Suleiman Koli, the director, and I say, I think I need to go. I was writing my own song. Every girl was writing her own song, and we bring it together, and everyone sing her own way with her own feeling and her own passion, and we put it together. But I say I have to go back to meet Ali Farka Touré. That's an amazing person too. Based on him, an uncle in Africa, you know, he's not the same family name, but he's an uncle because he's a bigger brother of my father's, and they are cousins. They meet. He know all the families. So I said, let's go back, spend 1 month with him, and prove to myself I speak the Sonrai, but I want to be more deeper, to touch something more deeper in the writing in Sonrai. The Sonrai, it's the language we speak in the north. So I went there, spent 1 month with Ali Farka Touré, peace on him, and Afel Bokoum. Those are two persons together forever since, before he passed away. That make me feel more comfortable in the blues part. I was writing because I speak well the language. So I was writing, but I said, let's go to touch the master so he can maybe give me some little secret. I can go deeper in that, in my writing. Sometimes you can write a note, but you know, you have to find someone who is a really writer or really master to tell you, okay, I suggest you to put that here. So when I went through 1 month of that, I said, okay, I think now I'm ready. So I go back to Ivory Coast where I was living, and I start to boom, 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 write all my different songs in the blues.
And it just came to you.
It just came to me because I'm glad I already speak this language, it was the Sonrai.
Yes.
And I love it. I love it. My dad have 12 kids. I'm the only one who speak the Sonrai.
Ah.
Even though I grew up in Ivory Coast,
Yes.
the other kids are still in Mali, but they don't speak this language. So I speak the Sonrai, I speak Bambara, I speak French. I'm struggling with my English. And
And you're struggling very well.
so I think that's important too. If you got those different language, even Wolof. I can write a song in Bambara and someone can translate it for me in Wolof because sometimes I need to explain some message in some of my songs, most of my songs, let's say like that. But I want the most and the more people to hear the message I have through my song because I thought it's a really important message. Why? Because as a singer, we have those voices those women in Africa don't have. Most of the women in Africa don't have voices to speak. They're just good to be home, to be the cooks, but they don't have to say nothing or raise the kids. And I say no to that. The women have a lot to say. They are the mothers, and the mothers create this earth.
And so the music is your vehicle.
It's my vehicle, and I'm being the defender of those persons, those kids who don't ask to come into this world. We bring them to this world, and we don't take care of them most of the time. So I'm saying no to that. Through my music, through my singing, no. We have to take our own responsibility. My music is my politics. My music, it's everything for me. So I say through my music, I think I have a lot of message to say to this world, to defend the women, to defend the kid, and to maybe bring some little change in this crazy world, because I think the world is going crazy right now.
This leads me to exactly what I want to ask you to give us a little bit of that message, okay, and to sing a song for us. And then we'll talk more about the message inside of the songs, okay?
Excuse me.
Nayo nanya na betele kilila, nayo nanya na fulele kilila, nyena moba furelu kilila, erandeme, nte sanu fer, nte galisi fer, mfa, ndedume horonyale fer. Horonyale fe, horonyale fe, horonyale fe, horonyale fe. Ha he 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 he.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
So please, can you share us the message of this? Share with us the message of this song.
This message in this song, it's about a young woman who was given to, how you call it, someone who cannot walk. I mean, someone who is who have a disease and cannot walk. They give the young woman to this man by force to marry the man. And so she's telling to her families, why do you bring me to this destiny? I don't deserve this destiny. If I could run from that, I would be running from my mother, from my father, from all my family, run away. Because I don't want to be with this man who's sitting down and, you know, cannot walk. Why did I have to go till this destiny? I think I don't deserve this destiny. So please, mothers, please, fathers, please, families, I want to avoid that life. I don't want to be through this life. I want to choose my lovers. I want to choose my husband. I don't want to go through that because, just like I was saying, those women who don't have voices, between the little girl who have the cutting, you know, the genital cutting, who blood sometimes and they die, they don't have voices. Sometimes they don't have choices too. And even the mother cannot save them because the dad tells to the mom, if you don't allow me to do that to your girls, you're going to go away with your daughters. I don't want to see you anymore in my houses. It's why I say I'm taking this to my head. I know it's very heavy, but I'm giving those messages because I'm the voices of those women and those kids, young girls who die through the genital cutting, young girls who they give them to marry someone they don't love. I say, no more that. We don't need that. That's the message in the song.
It's truly inspirational.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking about, you know, this is definitely such a major feminist thrust. What brought you to this point that you had to be the voice in so many ways for the voiceless?
Because, you know, usually in Africa, like I say, they don't tolerate a woman speaking. Like we are this assembly today here. Bunch of men gonna speak. The woman gonna just stay and hide themselves. But in those days, he's getting better, to say the truth. But usually it's like that in certain village till now. They are here. They have a lot to say. They have a lot to do about the education of the kids. And they have a lot of part. The men have a part, but the women have a lot of part. But I was thinking, you know what? In the art, singing, dancing, and choreographer, and playing even drum, you can speak through the drum to see and to show to the people what you want to explain. They can see the message seeing you playing the drum, even though the drum doesn't talk. So I say, okay. So they cannot make an introduction to a singer to sing what she thought and what she think about any situation.
So they can't silence your voice
They
in that
cannot
way.
silence my voices. I think I have this big mouth and these voices to say something. So I say, okay, I have to do it. That's my responsibility. I take it for myself. I have to do it to defend those people who don't have voices. I'm going to be their voices. Like I say, it's kind of heavy, but I'm
You're
carrying
committed.
it. I have it.
I think, you know, you're kind of embodying that whole idea of the politically committed artist in everything that you're doing. You know, the art is more than the musicality. It's so much more. It's bringing everything into the world so that everyone can understand the reality from where you came and the reality that you'd like to change.
Exactly. That's the point. That's the point. I'm, you know, indexing. I'm touching, and I'm saying all the time. Like I say, I'm not a politician. My politics is my art.
Yeah.
Singing and dancing and percussionist and having the voices of those persons who don't have voices. That's my politics. And I think everybody gonna hear that. The world gonna hear that
In your
through
music.
the music and
Yeah.
through my songs.
I want to switch a little bit now to the actual political and talk a little bit about what's going on in Mali. You know, Mali evokes really this romantic image. And I've traveled through Mali, you know, I've traveled, gone all the way to Timbuktu and everything. And to me, still Mali, I can't help thinking about, my time, going through the different cities and the beauty of the old cities and just how amazing it was. And it's, with all this, it's like it's really the center of learning in the ancient world in so many ways. It's the center of musicality. And yet with this warfare that has gone on, it's all that we hear about is more of the destruction of culture, more so than anything. So I want you to, even if you could kind of characterize what's going on, with the war, what kind of, I don't know if you have some of the details that kind of led to this issue, and how we can start understanding particularly what's going on in this space, in this place right now.
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot, I know.
It's heavy.
It's a really heavy thing, yeah.
Oof, it's heavy. Well, like I say, I'm not a politician. I really don't know what's happened. When I hear that, I was really sad and crying about it. Because like just you said, Mali is like, people enjoy the music and they enjoy to receive stranger. Open the door, you can, you know what it means.
The hospitality is amazing.
Hospitality is amazing. And people enjoy to be playing music and to be enjoying themselves. I never thought in my brain something like they call war gonna happen in Mali one day.
When it started, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, Mali? Of all places in West Africa, Mali?
Yes.
Mali? Yeah.
And I think all the Malians think that way. They never thought something like a war coming to Mali? No. Give me a break. That's not going to happen to Mali. But, like they say that's a proverb who say in Bambara, if you still exist in this earth, you still lives, anything can happen to you. You don't expect it, but it can happen. So I realized, oh yes, so anything can happen. Mali going to this war, I really don't get it. Why? What is the reason? If I tell you any reason now, I'm going to lie to you. What is the reason? No, I don't get it.
It seems like it's an ancient issue going all the way back to before the colonial period. That's what I've heard, you know?
They say, but you know what I think? We don't know the underway, how we call it. We don't know the underground
the
reason.
Forces,
we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't know. I hope someone knows, but I don't know. Really, I don't know. All I know is the musician going through that, they are going crazy. There is no music there anymore.
No music?
The festival, in Timbuktu Desert Festival.
Yes, yes. That was one of the most famous festivals that people would come from all around the world. I did, and I also have to give you a story. I went to this festival.
Timbuktu.
In Timbuktu.
Wow.
And I met people coming from Europe who drove through Europe. Okay?
Yes.
They crossed through from Spain, from Gibraltar, all across, Morocco, and came all the way down to this festival. This was an amazing, the most amazing cultural experience.
I'm telling you, people was coming from the United States.
Yeah, yeah.
From here to there. And you see it, so you can tell what it is. I went there even with Salif Keita. They invite me, but the year he was there too. So I performed with his band through my song, and after perform with him, Salif. This festival, you see, bring a lot of, tourists in Mali. A lot of people come through that to see. From Salif's song and singing, people was curious to see Mali.
Yeah.
But the festival bring a lot of people to see Mali and to even enjoy Timbuktu.
Exactly.
Because it's a mythic place.
Yeah.
Places. And there's another festival going in Ségou named the Festival of the Niger. Nothing is going on too because
Nothing.
of this war.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. When is the war going on in a country? Could you really enjoy the music there? No. Even people don't understand from the world seeing the music even going on in this country.
Yeah.
So people, they say, okay, no, it's not the right timing to do music, even though we cannot do music anymore. The rebels are there in Timbuktu. How can they do the festival?
And I've heard that, Timbuktu, of course, housed all these ancient manuscripts that tell us all about the ancient world and, kind of beyond the Islamic presence. I've heard a lot of these things have been destroyed. But then I
They
also
destroy
hear,
a lot. They destroy a lot. The ancient, how you call it, libraries.
Yes.
And some stuff they break down, they burn. All I have to say is, we don't need the war in Mali. I think Mali, it's, like you say, a peaceful country. People love to enjoy themselves, love to receive strangers there. Hospitality, open doors to people, and to teach them, to tell them about our tradition, to tell them about what Mali represents for us and for West Africa. But the war, and hopefully he's resolving, I hear in the news. Hopefully it's going to be done and going to be just like a bad dream.
I can only hope so. I can only hope so. But even before we get to hopefully the bad dream, I just want to know, if being in contact with your musician friends, what they're facing, on the ground, other than the festivals, and these festivals were just absolutely amazing. Is there like some sort of repression for expression of musicality? Are they being, in any way banned from playing? Other than the fact that the outlets aren't there, is there something that they're facing in terms of repression from the government, or is it just that there are no outlets altogether?
Yes, I have a brother who's a musician there. He keep telling me when I call in the phone, oh, it's really tough now. A war going on in the country, the economy fell and everything is expensive, huge. I talk to my mother every day almost. It's tough and hard. So he tell me, oh, we don't have gigs, we don't perform because even they tell us to slow down because of the war going on. We cannot do like wedding stuff, and they go through the wedding, of course. Everybody's going through some time. People don't want to live their life, stop their life because of the war. But they do everything like distraction, and, they don't have like performing and gigs and stuff anymore because
Can
of
they
the
see
war.
an end anytime soon?
Again,
can they see an end to this anytime soon? Because it's like we don't really get news, For me to find out about Mali, I have to go to shamelessly plug Al Jazeera and other news outlets, around the world. It's almost impossible for us to find out what's really going on.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Like I say, hopefully it's going to be ending now. And so we're going to go to the Mali who enjoy to play music, the Mali who enjoy to see other people, to exchange culture. Hopefully. But now, just like we say, I'm doing the same. To find the news, I have to go through that and that and that and listen to what's going on now and talk to my families all the time, every day. Hopefully it's going to have a resolve and Mali going to come through the real Mali we know and we love. So that's what I wish for my country, for Mali.
When will you go home, you think? Just to visit, not to, to stay, because we don't want you to stay anymore. I'm sorry to say that, okay? All right? We need the music here,
I know. I'm going in tour in Africa in June.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. And I'm going to go visit my family. And like I say, I have this album coming out soon in July. And even before the release, I'm going to go mention home. That and, talk about my album. It was going to be released and see my mother. I miss her. See my families. And get inspired again, because I have a lot of inspiration when I go back home. And I've been here since 2 years in the road.
And you haven't been home in 2 years at all?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's very difficult.
It is.
So I'm going to transition again, okay, to the album.
Yes.
Okay, I've been, what is the album? What's the theme, or do you have a theme of this album, and who's releasing it, and when can we get it, and what is it that you just absolutely love about it? All of these.
The album is coming on Motema. Motema, I believe it's Motema. Motema, who means heart. It's a label, and Jana Hurston, it's the one who is the director of Motema. Like I say, when she listened to my album, she say, "Oh goodness, that's just like Salif in the feminine voices. I love your music, Awa." Say, okay, no problem, let's go.
So it's a production company here in New York, or
She have a record label.
Yeah.
She have a record label. The album was done already. So my husband, Daniel Moreno, financed the album. Everything, he made it happen. But she just listened to the album and she said, okay, let's go. We're going to release this album on Motema.
Wow.
So it's going to be coming soon on July. And what was the other question?
No, I was asking you, is there a theme on the album? Is there one particular theme, or is it a kind of covering almost any and everything that you're interested in?
The theme, it's in, like I mentioned, I'm just yelling and singing and
well, you don't yell. You don't ever yell.
When I say, it's like how we used to say the word in English. I'm saying to stop. I'm just showing to people to stop the genital cutting of a little girl. Sometimes they die through that. Because if you cannot stop the blood, they pass away. And you cannot bring them to life anymore. So that's the theme, one of the songs, but that's going to be the theme of the album. Because like I say again, I have to be those voices for those. So we never hear about in anywhere in this world, again, any little girl passed away through the genital cutting. The other theme, it's usually I sing about love, peace, harmony. That's right. That's my wishes in this earth today. And actuality, I'm singing, I'm getting inspired to my own self too. I mean, my own life, my own story. Since the beginning singing till now, and I think I have like 25 years, years career now in the road. And I have a lot to do again, but all the formation I've been through and all this craziness in this world inspired me to write a song and to talk about, to mention about everything. People cannot say, or they say sometimes slowly. I say, okay, I have to say it louder. It's why I say I have to yell sometimes. I have to say it louder because it's the only way to give my little contribution to change something in this crazy world, once again. So the theme, it's about the genital cutting, nege korosigi. That means that in Bambara. But I'm singing also about the education of the kids in Africa most of the time, but in this world. Because I say Africa or New York City, the kids are kids. And the parents have the responsibility to take care of the kid, to show them the right way to take. They don't know. So I say in this song, for example, the children are like a clay. They are just like a clay. You have to give them the good shape in the right timing. If you don't, you leave them in the bad shape, they grow up, they dry, and you don't have nothing to say. You just have to cry later. So I say, hopefully that's happened to anyone here and anybody in Earth. So we need to show them how to be. We need to show them which way to take. Because there is the bad, the ugly. There is the good. Show them the good way. So they know for themselves, that's the good way. My mom tell me all the time, don't do that. Don't have a bad friend in school. Don't stay in the bad influences. They are innocent. I say the kids are just like in the wind, flowing. They don't know. They don't know nothing. When I see a parent yell at a baby who have 5 or 6 years sometimes, I just stop and look at them like that. That's correct? What's going on? They don't know. You have to teach them the way. And they don't ask for you to be in this earth. We bring them to this earth, so we have the responsibility to show them the good way.
To kind of go on in this idea of the genital cutting, it's such a controversial topic. And it's controversial everywhere. You hear, you know, people from West Africa, different parts of Africa, saying to Westerners, "This is our issue. This is, you're not understanding all the cultural nuances." You hear people on this side talking about it, and really not understanding all the different cultural issues. I'm wondering, are you getting like any sort of condemnation or praise because of your kind of like championing of this cause or saying this has got to stop? Is anyone coming and saying, no, you need to stop talking about this, or yes, let's help you, continue with this message?
Anyone, you mean in Africa?
Just anywhere in general, there and here,
Well, I'm ready to even have a foundation for that, going back soon home. People are afraid. People are really afraid because of all this. Afraid to the juju, maybe. They are not afraid to do that to the young girl who passed away through that. They just say, oh, that might be her destiny. But they are afraid to mention those things, usually.
They're afraid to criticize it.
To criticize it and to talk about it. So it's what I say once again, as a singer,
it has
I'm not
larger
afraid.
resonance, yeah.
I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid, and I think I have. It's my responsibility. I took it, and I want that to stop. So I'm going to fight for that. Nobody, can bring the discussion like we are talking about now. In Africa, it's just like a taboo. They don't talk about. But people who don't know think, oh, yes, maybe that's it in the Bible, or that's in the Quran. Maybe they should do that, really. Or maybe we have to do it. No. I think it's not reading anywhere, it's not written to do that practice. Usually some people do it because they say when the young girl don't have they don't do the practice to her, she becomes really, do you say frigid in English? She becomes
frigid, yeah.
Frigid, she becomes, she want to go out, she want to do whatever she want to do. I don't think it's true. It's just about education. Just like I say, mentioned late, now and again. We need to take care of our own kid we bring to this world. The kid never can come and put you in trouble if you guide them right, in the right timing. You gotta be tough. Doesn't matter. He can think, oh, my mother, she hates me. No, she don't hate you. She loves you. And she wants you to be in better life one day. And you will be proud of her and yourself. So I think that the young girl don't need that.
In this championing, sorry, go on.
Most of the time they think it's about, if they don't do that to the girl, she's going to be frigid.
Yeah.
I think it's why. So she have to do that. Doesn't matter. If you don't take care of your children's,
Then
that's your own fault.
Yeah.
What's going to happen, happen. So I think it's not a good reason. It's not written anywhere in the Bible or Quran and anywhere else. It's just a practice people do sometimes, and think by, can say, ignorance, and because sometimes they do that to the girls who grow up already, who can be 20 years old. You know what I mean? They do that in some village until this day.
I think, that's kind of, for most of us, that's still really kind of shocking to hear that an adult woman, this can happen to her. Yeah.
14, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19, till 20. Some allow themselves or people to do that to them till this day in certain village. Can you believe that?
So this is going to be a really important album, not just for your musicality, but for the thematics that you're bringing towards, you know, to in this whole sphere. And I'm just like you're just so with the amazing range that you have, of course, you know, the political injunction that you have, the injunction to speak for the children, to speak for the young girls, to speak for the women, you know, and then of course this large musical ability. I really want you to talk a little bit about the process that's going on in your head when you're creating this music. It's, you know, to me, there's so much, you know? How does it become what it becomes?
Well, I have to say, as the mothers and mothers, singers and artists, and I just thought to myself and think, I have something to do. I have some contribution to do in what's going on right now in Africa, in Mali, in my country. Of course, I sing a song against the war too. There is a lot going on in my mind. So I'm just thinking all the way, every day, every second, every moment, writing song about actuality, what's going on in this world, what's going on in Africa, what's going on even here in New York, everywhere. And I thought, that's my rules, and I have to do it. I don't have even the choice. I have to, but I want to do it too, because I think it's very important to give my tiny and my small contribution to what's going on in this world, and maybe not gonna help that much, but I think it can help. Because if everybody listened to my albums and listen to, read the lyrics and the meanings, like I'm saying now, the meaning of those songs, we'll understand, oh, that's amazing. Maybe they're gonna have, oh, we love these voices. And especially when they hear and understand and can read what I'm singing in the song, something gonna stay in their mind forever. And they're gonna say, oh, I do love this song. Maybe I can even sing this song in karaoke or try to do it myself, sing it myself. That makes me feel great, because people are keeping something in their mind about those messages I'm saying through those songs. That's the objective I want.
I always think, of women, African women particularly, always coming from a point of strength. And this is exactly what, you're validating for me. The point of strength and the way that the voice can really operate on so many levels.
That's true.
So we'll just wrap up the first hour.
So this is the first hour, and so we'll take a break for a few minutes and then come back for the second part of the interview. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so folks, we're back with the second part of our interview with Awa Sangho at the National Jazz Museum. Awa, as the young person that you are, and with your music constantly growing and changing, I'm really wondering how you see your music making changing over the next few years, the next 5 to 10 years.
How my music can change?
Will change.
Will change.
If you have a vision for it, or you'll just let it expand.
I have a vision. I have that vision, yes. I'm just, like I say, expecting my music take over here so people can hear to those message on my song. And of course, why not? Maybe I can end up in Hollywood one day. Who knows? Who knows? So I'm just, working and working and working, never stop. And like I say, at the same time, learning from different culture, like I say, I remember when I talked with Mira, I'm gonna mention it, she said, "Oh, do you do jazz songs? Do you do blues?" I said, "Yes, of course." Where I'm from in Africa, actually Timbuktu, it's the blues. I think is the mother earth of blues. Even though when we go through the how you call it? Actually, I tell her yes because it's what it does. Blues. That's in my blood. Is what I say. I don't go through, but the blues come to me because I was born in the blues. So I'm expecting working a lot and exchanging with different artists, of course, in Motema. And I just have an open mind, working with different diversity and working with different artists so I can teach them where I'm from and I can learn from them, exchanging culture. And
That leads me right to exactly where I want to go, because I'm thinking, what haven't you done that you want to do?
well, I'm thinking about being an actress. What do you think about
I
it?
think that would be wonderful.
Yes.
You know?
Being an actress. No, really, to say the truth, I never do any movies or being actress in any documentary. That's something I'm just dreaming about it. Do you think I'm a good actress? I can be a good actress?
I don't think that, I haven't seen you act, but I can see you definitely.
Being an actress.
I can definitely see it.
Okay,
you know?
thank you.
I think it's time, I think we can, it's a time we really had a black Cleopatra. And I think with the hair and everything, that you would be a perfect candidate, Yeah.
Okay. So I'm here. I'm a candidate to be. Yes, I was thinking really about that because somebody tell me, friend of mine and her husband tell me, do you ever do a one-woman show? I say, I never do a one-woman show. He say, well, I think if you trust yourself because you are learning better and you're speaking well English, you can do that. I see you on the stage just like, what is her name again? I love this woman. How can I forget her name? She do like Sister Act.
Oh, well, Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg. Oh my gosh. I love this woman. I love her. So he was telling me, do you look like Whoopi? I said, what? No, she's amazing, this woman. How do you think I look like Whoopi Goldberg? I say, well, I wish I can be like Whoopi Goldberg one day, being like doing shows and acting and singing in the same time. That's my profession, singing and dancing and percussion. Don't ask me, that's my profession. But acting too. I was doing comedy theaters, like we say, comedy musical.
Yes.
But I never been through movies. So hopefully I can do that.
We have a producer here, you never know.
Okay,
You know what can happen.
Ooh, I'm here.
So your album is definitely coming out in June.
Yes.
Where else will you be playing?
July.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much. In July, where else will you be playing, before that and after that? Where can we find you in New York?
Before July, we have the Mist. The 30th. And after that, I'm flying to Mexico. I'm going in tour. And after that, I'm going in California because I have a bunch of recording sessions to do.
So we're going to miss you here,
I'm going to miss you too. But as soon as I come back, I will let you know about the upcoming shows. And actually on my website, you can find the upcoming shows.
Oh, please, what's your website?
www.oursanghomusic.com.
All right, wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
So, we're coming to the close of our interview. And I just want to ask, as our last question together, what do you want us to know about you, our Sangho, that we don't know, that you haven't told us?
I think I tell you everything. I have to think about more things, maybe.
What message do you want to leave with us then?
Yeah. Yes, I have a message, that's for sure. So the message I want to leave you, it's just like I say in the beginning, our Sangho, it's a woman who wants to be these voices of those kids, those women, those young children in the street in Africa who don't have any voices to speak, who don't ask to come in this earth, who don't know what to do, because some person doesn't take their responsibility in the right moment. those parents who don't take their own responsibility with the kids in the right timing, after the kids suffer through that. So that's my main message I'm gonna keep saying and saying over and over and over. So our Sangho is just a singer, dancer, percussionist, and artist who really
Maybe
care.
actress too. You know?
Actress, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Who really care about, I really do care about, I love kids. I love kids, I love skate, and I love skate. And I loved, I mean, seeing the woman being too independent. They have a lot to say, like I said. We have a lot to say. Men's, we have a lot to say. Women have a lot to say. I know you know, we complete each other, but we have a lot to do and a lot to say. We have the most hardest part to do in this earth. Because carrying this baby 9 months, bringing this baby in life, that's a lot already. And so we do need to be together. I know, I believe that. Men and women, we need to be together to help those kids to find their own way, and so we can be proud of them tomorrow and say, oh, that's our son. Oh, yeah. So you see, he's a good kid. He have a great education. That's my thought. And I'm thinking about the same for all these kids in this earth, not only even in Africa, but most of the time in Africa. So Awa is the how you say in English, the defender and the
advocate.
The advocate of the kids, of the women who don't have voices in this earth, not only in Africa, in the earth. So I want through my message in all my songs to tell to people we need to take our own responsibility. Every human being, every single person here have something to do about a great change in this earth. So I think I have a lot because I'm singing through and people can hear through my song, but all of us, we have a lot to do. And believe me and trust me, don't say, no, what can I do to change this world? No, we have a lot to do because we have the right. And usually they say the women have the powers. We are powerful, but we don't realize it ourselves. We have the powers in this earth. So I just wanted to say that again to every woman here. The men are here and they are with us too. And they understand that.
Yes.
So we have a lot to do and we have to take our own responsibility. I'm taking mine right now. I'm doing that since 25 years old. I mean, since 14 years, since even 4 years, 5 years. Singing and through all my songs, give this peace, love, and harmony message in my songs. So that's our Sangho.
I want to say thank you so much, and I want to open the floor to everybody. I'm sure they have a lot of questions that they're dying to ask. So,
I know.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned something about, say, some of your songs were translated into Wolof. Have you had any contact with Youssou N'Dour, or because he's got a big thing going in Senegal? Made any contact or break into his system?
Youssou N'Dour is an amazing singer. By the way, somebody listened to my album was saying, oh, I was thinking this is Youssou N'Dour singing because the part of Wolof. I said, no, that's me, Awa. This is the woman voices. Anyway, not a particular contact with Youssou N'Dour, but we do meet one time. We was in they was having this Kora Award in South Africa, and Godi Kotiba was there, and Youssou was there, and so we meet, and was in love with one of our songs. The song name is Su. Su means the night. So he loves this song, and we tried to find him later on to give him the CDs, but like you say, he's really busy.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like he would, but you spread, you got Motema,
Yeah.
you know, records, but you still have the, I think, bigger organization.
Yeah, I
Set up.
know.
Yeah.
I know that. Hopefully, maybe when I go back to Africa, I think I can try to see Yusu, and we can collaborate somehow, do something. But how I write my song and translate in Wolof, you're gonna laugh if I tell you that. I just wrote the song in Bambara. That's the one of the languages I speak. And I went to see a tailor, someone who have a sewing. I mean, is a tailor they say?
A tailor, yeah.
A tailor next to my house in Ivory Coast. And I tell him, you know what? I have this song. I'm writing this song about the education of the kid, and this is the word that. So I'm saying, help me to erase my kid, because alone anybody cannot alone erase his kid.
Yes.
Like they say, take a full village to educate a kid.
Right.
So I was telling him that, can you translate that part for me in Wolof? So the guy helped me to translate the part in Wolof, even though I'm not speaking. Usually, it's not my main language. I don't speak constantly Wolof, but I translate it and I sing it. But when people hear the song, they say, are you from Senegal? I say, no, I'm from Africa. And I
had
think
a
I
good
represent all Africa. So,
Yeah.
so that's the way I wrote this song and translated. Somebody helped me to translate it. But I'm going to definitively try to found Yusu, because he loves what I do, and I love Yusu. He's one of the, you know.
We had another question there. Yes, sir?
I don't usually ask questions, and so probably you may not like what I have to say, and you may not like my taking so long to say it. We were fortunate, Lynetta and I, on Tuesday to be in Brooklyn, where there was a sister from Kenya who was an artist, a different type of artist. And one of the good things that we learned from her was that she was planning to go back in spite of the negative situation in Kenya, which is what you also brought out in Mali. When folks spoke about Timbuktu, when the problem came about, there was additional information and apparently misinformation based on what you said, that they really didn't do that much destruction to some of the books and artifacts that were in the library at Timbuktu. What you're saying that they did do a lot. My wife was involved in a group some time ago relative to rites of passage for African American girls. And one of the things that some of the female parents were concerned about was that they may, were they going to go through this clitoris situation, or clitorectomy. And so we had to ease them relative to having their doubts to become part of the group. There's about 3,000 other questions. Oh yes, one of the others is the brother in northern Mali that passed away. I can't think of his name right now. You mentioned him earlier.
Ali Fakaturi?
Ali
Fakaturi.
Fakaturi.
He has a son who's also singing.
Yeah, I just talked to V a week ago. He's singing.
Okay. And have you done a presentation of a song where you've done at one time not only sing it in, say, in Wolof, but in Bambara or whatever, you know, maybe 2 or 3 different languages from the area, so that maybe even though it's being done once, it involves a lot of different people, a lot of different areas. I think that's all for right now.
There's a lot going on there. So,
Yeah.
you know, you're asking about the destruction in Mali, you know, is that because there are different stories that are being represented? You know, some say there wasn't as much destruction, but some say that there is. There
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And the whole issue, the rites of passage and the clitoridectomy. But I wasn't clear, is your wife is involved in the rites of passage, and she's bringing people to Mali, or?
Oh, no, no, no.
No.
This is all done here in the U.S.
Oh, okay, so,
But-
yeah, the whole issue here in the United
But
States.
one of the issues that came
Yeah.
up relative to some of the parents that were approached was whether or not that was going to be an aspect of it. And
So
it
what is
wasn't.
the
It wasn't a
question,
part
It
of it,
wasn't
yeah.
a part of
So,
it.
yeah.
And of course, now you open up another question, which is, do men feel that, based on the fact that the clitoris is an enjoyable situation, that they don't want women to have that enjoyment, and so consequently they are pushing for that, to have the clitorectomy, and so maybe in a discussion it can be brought up that if they have that negative attitude and that what is it when you're not sure of yourself, you have doubts about yourself, insecure. If they're
Insecurity.
insecure or whatnot, they,
yeah.
you know, maybe you can deal with.
Is it an issue of male insecurity and about their masculinity for a woman to have her, you know, with this whole issue of the clitoridectomy? That's what you're asking.
Yes.
Oh, about the
Yeah,
the
yeah,
little
the whole,
you're
where
cutting-
the reason why the males are pushing it. And also he asks about the Pan-African character of your music. You know, do you sing one song in many different languages?
Yes, I do.
At the
I
same
do.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, at the same
It's what I was just saying. The song I write in, I mean, it's part of the song in Wolof. I'm saying the same thing in Bambara. And usually I can sing one song in different African language, just like I said at the beginning, because I want a lot of different people to hear the message, to understand what I'm talking about. Especially this song is about the education of the kids. This song I sing in Wolof and in Bambara. But most of the time, some song I can sing them in 2 or 3 different languages.
So now we go to Ghana and talk about the women who are in the marketplace, who are very independent, are extremely independent, which you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
What would you,
What is the point?
The contrast to women that she's talking about here?
Correct.
So he's talking, there's the whole idea of Ghanaian women, especially market women, as being
Right.
kind of the leaders in society. And then your you know, the way that you've spoken about African women as not being quite the leaders, who are being more led in some ways. So he's asking you to kind of maybe, you know,
Say
discuss
something
it a little
about
bit
it.
more, how, you know?
You know what I think? Those women you seeing them maybe in the marketplaces, they are powerful in the marketplaces. But yes, because it's their area. They are there maybe constantly in the week and they sell stuff. But do you see those women with their husband or in some meeting or some conferences? They don't have this, it's not the same situation. Is what I was just trying to say. And I even mentioned too, some change is coming. There is some change coming. But it's not all the way done yet. There is some changes coming. The woman knows. They know they have a lot of rights. They know they have a lot of responsibility. They know they have this power, even though sometimes they don't trust themselves. But they have the women are the one who have the power. I hear about some women who was protesting in Nigeria in a movie. They choose to protest and to remind to the men, we have the powers. So what they did, it was in a documentary or a movie, something, I didn't see it, but what they did, they just chose to, they say, okay, no more food, no more cooking, no more sex, and no more taking care of the men. So they're gonna realize, oh, something is wrong. We don't have what we want every day. like the quotidian things. And I think they realize that. It's what I say, the woman, they have some power, certain power, they don't realize themselves. The one who choose to educate themselves, just like I say, believe or not, I'm going to school here. Since 2 years speaking, that's English, I'm speaking little by little and struggling with it. I choose myself. My husband is from here, but he didn't tell me to go to school because I want to get more educated and more open mind through the world. I did already tour all over the world for 25 years, but I think it's not, I say to myself, it's not enough for me. If I want to be able to communicate, to do this interview, I have to speak English. And I have to teach myself. So those ones who choose to stay in the kitchen, they don't want to go to school to learn, even they don't want to go to, even not, I mean, for me, it's never late to learn, to educate yourself and to be able to speak French at least. Because some of those ones don't speak even French. They speak Bambara already, I mean, only. So it's all about yourself. What do you want to do? What is your point? I mean, what is your objective? What do you want to do with your life? So you have to know you have the power. Your own person can, and I mean, make up your mind and do some things. So that's my point of view about that. So when you say they have a power in the marketplace, it's correct. They have to sell their stuff. They have to take care of the family. Sometimes the woman take care of the men, selling those stuff in the marketplace. So they have to be very nicely, hey, sell what they have to sell to make money to survive. But in different environments, it's not the same. You can see those women in the conferences or in a meeting place with a bunch of men. They are just behind in their own world. And it's the woman who is the one who is in the front, who is powerful, who have the voices. That's what I'm talking about.
I have a question. This is back to your music. Could you speak a little bit about the improvisation that you incorporate in your music? Is any of your live performances kind of like, do you improvise a lot? Are you reacting to situation? And I guess in the griot tradition, you praise and you kind of talk about what's happening right there, also the history, but is that also part of your music?
You mean if I am improvising in my songs or on stage?
On stage, yeah.
What do you say? You kind of right. In the griot traditional, like I say, the tradition of the griot, it's like they are the one who's like the library of the Mandingue. Means when I say library, it's like they have all the history. If you tell me your name, if your name is, for example, Mira Touré, I should be knowing your grandfather. I should be knowing all your family and telling you about them. So in a song, singing, I can improvise and spelling all your family as a griot and reminding you that. You come from a great family. Your father was an amazing person. Your mother was that, and your brother, and blah, 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 and to make you proud of yourself. That's the role of the griot. And actually, too, the griot, they are the one who have to, when there's a conflict anywhere, they are the one who come to end up to the conflict. I mean, usually to find the solution and to bring peace. To talk to everybody, to make everybody cool and calm down and understand, okay, we are going through that. That's nothing. We don't have to do that. We have to be cool and everybody know his own self, he know his own, the value. So we don't have to, go through that. But the war is in different level. So the griot cannot do nothing on this war. Because it's not between the people who usually lives together in Mali or, neighborhood, and everybody
different
was it's different circumstances and different situations. So what you said, it's the improvisation. I improvise on stage. I can improvise. You play some music right now, and I can sing on it, even though it can be, it's not the blues, it's hip hop or whatever. I can improvise with it, sing with it. But I'm not gonna sing as a griot. I'm gonna sing what I feel. Usually I just ask, okay, what is the theme of this song? What do you sing in the song? What are you singing? If they tell me that, even not, if they don't tell me, I can improvise on it. Bring my own thought and bring my own feeling through listening to the music, what I feel, I just bring it out. So I improvise a lot, but most of the time when I make like a concert, I go through all my albums. All my different albums I went through, like more than 10 albums, I went through that and choose my repertoire, what I'm gonna do today and what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Any more questions? Yes.
So earlier you mentioned several other famous Malian musicians that you know and that have kind of inspired you and that you've worked with. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think all the ones you mentioned were men. So I'm wondering, when you were growing up or even now, were there any female musicians that you had to sort of look to as role models or to inspire you?
Yeah, I think I mentioned Salif inspiring me when I was growing up singing, Salif Keita. Miriam Makeba also, she's not from Mali, but I mentioned her name. I loves her music and loves her music based on her. And I think she's one of the powerful singer, woman singer who make me really proud, you know, and I loves what she sang, and I loves the way she was singing. And those singer in Mali, I mean, I collaborate with Sangare a bunch of time. So I just mention a lot Salif because I work a lot with Salif Keita. And Sheikh Tijan Sek also is the same generation of Salif Keita who work with Hank Jones. I don't know if you know Hank Jones. They did a great album named Sarala. So Sheikh Tijan Sek worked with Lego du Koteba and work a lot with myself. And I even sing one in few of his albums. Manu Dibango is a great singer from Cameroon who I think Makossa, Mama, Makossa, and Michael Jackson, I think, take some
of that rhythm.
Some of that rhythmic, and I think they even went through all this thing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's just a parenthesis. So Manu Dibango, we work with him too. He was having his 50 years anniversary of his career.
Wow.
And we invite him in Ivory Coast, and we have a great concert with him, playing on the stage with him. Ray Lema and who else? I work with a lot of different artists. Habib Kwate is a great singer too. We work together, we sing together, and he met his agency through Lego du Koteba, because he was doing the first part of Lego, and Michel Deboc was working with us and discover Habib till now. I think they spent maybe more than 25 years together. So Habib, I know all of them, of course. I didn't just want to spell all the singers. I know all of them, and we all work together or meet in different stages and different festivals around the world. So I know all of them and collaborate with all of them. Chicken Jaffa Kuli, he's a reggae singer, Ivorian like me, Ivorian, half Malian. But usually people say, where are you from really? Senegal, Mali? Or what? I say, hey, I'm from Africa. My family is from Mali.
Musician,
yes. But you know, I just love to represent all of Africa because I'm proud of myself and being African. That's it. Just being Africa, I'm proud. Being African.
So I think we could take, do we have one last question? No? Well, I think we're going to ask you if you would mind doing one last song for us. You know, I know you've spoken a lot, but we would just love to hear you one more time, and then, you know, we'll close out our evening together, you know?
Okay, I'm going to actually do two brief things. They sing about the war and something different, just
Sajo, Sajo, Sajo. Sajo, Sajo, Sajo. Kabirin sagumani Sajo botan masajo ye. Kabirin sagumani Sajo botan masajo ye. Jile oguna yada Sajo botan masajo ye. Urazida Sajo botan maye. Suwakota Sajo botan masajo ye. Yahuya Sajo maye. Yahuya Sajo maye. Ay harme masikoi gafure. Ay harme hine tamala magune. Ay harme masikoi gafure. Turi sisaora harme man no koi hano. Hari sisaora harme man no koi hano. Harme man no koi hano. Harme man no koi jaro. Ay harme masikoi kanane.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I think we have to, end our evening together. Awa, this was truly a pleasure. And I'd like the audience to to join me in thanking this amazing woman, her amazing musicality, her activism. And I really, truly hope to see more of you. Definitely more.
You will see more of me.
Take care.
Thank you very much.